Lead and Empower Her with Dr. Julie Ducharme, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet. Hear their stories and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Lead and Empower Her with Dr. Julie Ducharme is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Dr. Julie Ducharme.
Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Ducharme with She CEO Talks. And if you guys notice, we have a little different setup here today because I'm here with Hannah from Calypso Café, which is a cafe close by my house that I dearly love. The food is delicious and the wine is even better. And Hannah's brought some wine today. And we're going to talk about her being a CEO over her cafe and everything that she's done. Because as we talk about, I talk with women around the world in all different industries, from construction to football to anything, you name it. So your business has been around for about 13 years, right?
13 years.
And it started out as a coffee cart.
Exactly. It's a nice little coffee cart.
Yeah. And now you've expanded to a cafe, which you serve, I don't know how many people are in the Cays, but I mean,
1,400 people.
Okay. So 1,400 people. You serve all of them, especially during COVID. Oh my gosh. You were a lifesaver.
Exactly.
You had toilet paper. No one else
had
toilet paper.
240 rolls of toilet paper.
Hannah had toilet paper when no one else did. Like, we were like, where did you get this? So you have all sorts of things. Besides your delicious food, you have wines, you have, beer, pastas, wine, cheese. And every time I come in, you have something new and delicious. Toothbrush. The chocolate hummus my children love. They were like, where is this from? And I was like, where do you think? And they're like, of course it's from Calypso.
Yeah, chocolate hummus is good.
But I know running what you do is not easy. We talk about it all the time. And so I wanted to talk about, what do you think makes your style, how you run your business, maybe a little different than other people? Like, how do you see success from the way you run it?
Because I want it to be like you going home. It's a home cooked meal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want you to feel right at home.
I know, and I do. Like, when you make that stuff, like sometimes in the mornings, I'm like, I just need a breakfast from you. And I go in and you make that big plate breakfast, and it's like, reminds me of my mom. And like when she would make, on Saturday, she would always make a big breakfast, eggs, hash browns, all that stuff. So I love that. And I feel like you can cook anything.
I can.
You've catered my events. Like, I remember this octopus salad you made. It was an actual octopus sitting on the plate. Sitting on the plate, like, was it the people? Like, Hannah, I think she fished for it and brought it in and set it there. I was like, where did you get an octopus? But I love the home cooked feeling. Now, something else I noticed that you do a lot is you're very personal with people. Like, I think you mentioned one time you actually call people sometimes.
If I don't see them, I do call them to check up on them. See what's going on, if they're okay.
Yeah, that's
if they
amazing.
Need anything.
And you serve obviously a lot of our senior community here as well, which those are a wirely bunch. I tell you, I've seen them a couple of times. But I think something really important when I think about small businesses and what you're doing, right, is that your business is just as powerful and as impactful as a giant franchise, because you build relationships with people.
Exactly.
And I think, to me, when I see that, it's always like such a great thing to be like, when I bring people all the time to your place, I'm like, oh no, we're going to Calypso Café. Because not only do I love the food, but I love the people there. And you serve on customer service too. I think you just made chips for me one day. And I was like, I need some chips. And you're like, let me just cook those up. And I was like, she just cooked chips for me. Like, I feel so special right now.
Hot chips and salsa, yes.
So what are maybe some barriers you ran into when you were trying to get this started that maybe some of our other people who are aspiring to do this might be able to kind of learn about or know to look out for?
Just be yourself and go for it. Don't let nothing scare you.
Did you have people who were like, you shouldn't do this?
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. That's too much. Leave it alone. But no way.
Did you run into any issues when you were trying to, physically move from that coffee cart into that building? Did you run into barriers where people were like, no, we don't want this?
Yeah, we don't want this here. We really don't want, it's too small of an area, and we just do not want a coffee cart or a restaurant.
Which is just crazy to me.
Exactly, but I told everyone that it's good for you to come in and have a cup of coffee, bring a friend, come over, because there's a lot of older people.
Yeah.
And they're always alone. So you bring a friend, come over and have a glass of wine, have a coffee.
Yeah.
And sit down and talk.
Who doesn't want that?
I know.
I mean, I remember my grandfather used to love to go to this old place in town.
Exactly.
And him and all the men his age, they were in their
meet.
80s, they would meet and they would have
meet
coffee.
there. Exactly.
And they loved it. And it was a thing he did all the time. And, you know, now obviously the coffee world is like, it's popular. Right?
Very popular.
Like coffee. I come in all the time. I'm like, Hannah, I need your coffee.
I need it.
You know, I need
coffee,
that.
Coffee.
And then I come back later for your wine. No, I'm just kidding. No, I need wine. But, you know, you kind of had a really good foresight, right?
Yes.
Because while people were going, we don't need that, we don't need that. Who doesn't want?
Really, who doesn't want to come over and bring a friend and sit down and talk, pass the time and enjoy themselves?
Yeah.
Because being alone, it's really, it's sad.
And
it's
you're,
sad.
You're in such a beautiful location too. For those of you who haven't visited the Cays, we're like on this island with these like inlets. And Hannah's place is like right on the water there, so you can sit outside overlooking the water, the little like beach on the other side. But it's tranquil. I mean, I do it all the time, you know, just sit out there and it's like, and then when you're closed, I'm always like, oh, she's closed.
She's closed.
She's so popular. Everyone wants her open all the time. I didn't tell you the story.
Yeah.
So I was there on a Sunday sitting outside with a friend. We just said, oh, let's just sit outside. And this lady pulled up and she was angry because she was like, we drove from really far away to get food. And I was like, she's never open on Sundays. And she was so mad. And I was like, come back on Monday.
Come back.
But it was just a testament of how much they loved your food that I don't know where they came from. But she was just so mad. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But as long as I've known Hannah in 7 years, she's never been open on a Sunday.
Yeah, we used to, but you know, it was just a help. It was help. I didn't 7 days a week, 14, 15-hour days. That was very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult, but I conquered everything. So.
Yeah, you did. And you get, I think some other things, obviously your customer service, your family atmosphere, and also the products you sell. You always get really unique things. This butter one time you gave me.
Oh, the butter, yeah.
It was Italian butter. I brought it home and my kids were like, where did you get that? I mean, I've never seen them so engaged about butter before.
Well, you know what? Quality is always good.
Yeah.
Quality is
Much
100%, yes.
Yeah.
If you're going to eat something, you might as well eat quality.
Yeah.
If I can't eat it, you can't either.
I remember watching Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay and seeing like they went into the back and like there was like moldy green stuff and like grease, and I was like, I will never eat out again because I was so grossed out about that. And like you said, it wasn't the quality, and everything you have is quality. It's so
Quality,
delicious.
you have to be. I'm around the kitchen 24/7.
Yeah.
Yep. I have to do what I have to do, you know.
Yeah.
It's very important to make sure everything is, you know, done properly.
Yeah.
Especially when like it comes to chicken and salmonella and all that. I have to be there. I'm there all the day actually.
Yeah.
All day long.
Yeah, it is. You're there like 24/7, and the few times you're out, people are like, we don't know what to do, Hannah.
Oh yeah. You know what happened if my car is not there? What happened? They call me, where are you? We're here at the restaurant. Well, what I did is I park in a different parking spot. And I said, come on in. I'm here. I'm in the kitchen.
That's funny.
Yeah, they're looking like, where are you if they don't see my car?
Well,
it's crazy.
I think what I love is that you went from them fighting you about not needing this to now everyone needs you.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, they get mad when you're not open, you know. And of course you need some time to yourself. And so I was just talking to this with other women who were saying like, listen, it's okay to take a break sometimes. You don't have to feel guilty about it. But I know as someone who owns businesses, I was just saying the other day, I really needed a nap. And I felt guilty about the thought of taking a nap because I had so much to do.
Oh.
And so I, of course, didn't take a nap, but I needed one.
I'm the same way. I feel guilty that if I close a little early.
Yeah. But it's like you need that. And people will, as long as you're open, they will be walking in the door.
They will be coming in.
Yeah.
What happened one day, I closed at 8 o'clock and I went home. So I get a phone call on my cell phone. This one lady, she said, hi, Hannah. I just picked up my dad from the airport and he is starving. And please, I need a piece of lasagna. I said, I'm home in my pajamas, in bed. So anyway, a few minutes later passed by, a few minutes. I called her back on her cell phone and I said, okay, meet me at the restaurant because I could not sleep
Oh my
because her
God.
dad was hungry. So I could have told her, go to McDonald's or do whatever, but her dad was hungry. So I get up, my husband is like, where are you going? I got to give this lady a piece of lasagna.
Oh my God.
I have to do that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to sleep.
But see,
it's crazy.
And this is what I love about what we're talking about, right?
Mhm.
Because we're talking about she CEOs, right? And how we run our businesses and what differentiates us. And I think that is a key, right? How many people are really going to get out of bed to give someone a piece of lasagna?
Believe
But
me.
you couldn't sleep. Like
I
that's
couldn't sleep.
how much your business meant to you. You were like, I give this woman a lasagna.
I went in the restaurant with my pajamas, and I cut a piece of lasagna, put the sauce on top, the cheese, went to her car, and I said, here you go. Warm it up at home, and I'll see you later. She goes, let me pay you. I said, no, I'll see you later. I'm going home.
Oh my gosh. But there's the uniqueness is the quality, the customer service, the care for people.
Family.
Right?
They
Family.
become like a family.
And that, for me, that's important because I grew up in a family that family was everything.
Mhm.
And my father owned some businesses and it was all in quality, handshake. He went above and beyond
exactly.
for people. And I feel like that's rare today. How many businesses do we know that actually really do that?
Exactly. Well, on last Wednesday, I get this school kids. They get out early and they all come over. And it was like, there's 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at the menu and it's like, oh, we don't have enough money for our burgers. They're all hungry.
Yeah.
I said, listen to me, guys, go sit down. I'm going to bring you burgers. So I brought burgers and fries. It's like, Miss Calypso, we'll pay you later. I said, no, you don't have to pay me, just go.
Oh my gosh.
It's so crazy. You have to be, they're family.
Mhm.
They're like your own kids.
Yeah.
You can't just, it's amazing.
Yeah. I love that. Well, if I was wanting to start my own cafe,
Mm-hmm.
are there maybe a tip or two you can give me on the business side that I should think about using?
Well, number one, you have to know exactly how to run a cafe, how to cook, how to sweep and mop and do dishes.
That's great advice.
Otherwise, don't do it.
Don't do it. So maybe they should intern in another place first
That's
to get
right.
an idea on how to do it.
Exactly.
So that's, sweep and mop too. I tell
You
you,
have to do everything.
Don't
just
watch-
in case.
don't watch Hell's Kitchen. You
No.
will be so grossed out.
Oh no, I will not watch.
You would die. You would die. Because the Gordon Ramsay walks around, comes in and goes, this chicken is green.
I know, I saw this a couple of times and I can't. No. I am so picky when it comes to food.
Yeah. Oh, and that's
Very
what's so
picky.
good.
One time I order chicken like always, we get from US Foods and stuff. They send me the wrong chicken breast.
You're like, no.
They were like a double D. Triple. I was like, what the heck is what is this? We usually use the tenders.
Yeah.
The guy goes to my sales rep goes, what's wrong? Hold on. I was panicking because I seen these things are like huge. And I was like, that's not what we use. Take it back.
And what I love is that you're not afraid to be like, no.
No, absolutely not.
No.
You have to.
And I've seen that a couple times with you. When I've been at the cafe, you're like, nope, not
This is-
doing it. Or you'll fix something. You'll be like, we don't do it like that, and like you'll fix it.
Oh, I know.
So I love that.
Yeah, it's crazy. You have some people saying, that's not how you make my mocha. I said, that's how I make the mocha.
That's funny.
You gotta.
Well, you have a voice. I like too that you stand up for yourself.
Absolutely. you
I
have
know
to.
that some people have given you a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I know that happens in the restaurant world. People are picky.
Always. And they kind of look down a little bit, but you kind of have to ignore all that and keep going.
Yeah.
It happens too many things that you really think, that's it. I want to shut down. That's it.
Mhm.
Like my husband would say, you know what? So that's, and it's like you're having a hard time. People are giving you a hard time, in every business the same.
Mhm.
But you need to kind of go on. You can't give up.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I hear the restaurant industry is one of the toughest industries to be in with like a turnover rate, they don't even make it 5 years.
No, they don't. They don't. The first 3 years, 4 years is the hardest in the restaurant business.
Yeah, because
Very
you're establishing yourself. And I mean, I love now, like I said, I mean, all the time, whenever I think about seeing you, I'm always like, okay, what time is she? Okay, I better get going now. I better get going there. And I think that's great. And like I said, I've had the opportunity to get a chance to have your food and see the uniqueness of it. For those of you who are local that might want to come out to the Coronado Cays, you can just Google Calypso Café and it will pop up and you can find Hannah there. You can actually call her ahead of time. I think your menu's online.
Yeah.
And she will actually make your food for you. So if you're in the San Diego area or even LA or close, like this is one of those destinations you got to go to. We're going to get, what's his name? What's that guy who always goes to the unique destinations? Is it Guy Ferreira?
Oh, yeah.
Guy? All right.
I think Guy, yeah.
Is it Guy? Guy, if you're listening, we want you to come out and see Hannah because she will make you some really amazing, unique food. And it'll be super awesome. So as we close out, one, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you
And,
for having me.
you know, we did this unique thing. A lot of times we don't do face-to-face, but Hannah's like around the corner from me. So we were like, let's do this. Let's get some, you know, we do have this listed on Good Day. Right here it says good day, bad day, don't even though we may end up filling that up no matter what. But as I always say, live, love, laugh, and always be your authentic self. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening to Lead and Empower Her with your host, Dr. Julie Ducharme. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we'll see you on the next episode.